Hey guys, it's 50 weeks and 50, and I am looking at giving you an update on the 4 weeks. I've got to say that recently I've had some technical issues with my phone. It's not recording properly, it's not taking pictures properly. I'm having a lot of trouble. So I apologize that not be able to provide the updates that I wanted to provide. However, I can give you some really interesting components. Today, we're going to talk about measuring results, why that's important, why consistent tracking allows you to make the optimization tweaks that allows your program, whether it's a diet, whether it's a training program, whether it's the implementation of biohacking devices, that feedback, you want to correlate the digital feedback or the quantitative feedback with the qualitative. And so each week I check in with my coach and I provide a summary of the qualitative feedback, how I felt, what was my energy level, how was my sleep level, was there any pain in the body, these type of things, which is kind of old school biofeedback, which is very important, along with new school biofeedback that is, DEXA scans, heart rate variability, body fat percentages, lean body mass tissues. You could go into HRV. You can go into a lot of stuff. And we'll be adding pieces to the puzzle as we move forward on the complete biological optimization experiment here. My 50 weeks to go to 50. So let's get into one aspect that I'd like to share with you, which is the DEXA scan. So the DEXA scan is kind of the state of the art I'm sharing with you right now. So if you see right here, when we started the program, I was at 21.6%, very high body fat level for me, not acceptable. I mean, it's in a decent range according to scientific validation if you look down here for men, but it's not really that great overall. We should be, I would like to be in that 20 to 29-year-old level, which is sub 16%. At my age, you want to be under 20, which we just went under. But the point of the matter is it's not acceptable for someone in this field. And again, that's business getting in the way, lifestyle, growth things, personal things. But that's no excuse. But what you measure tends to improve. So when we started this component, so we look at baseline, say, last year when I initiated the 21-day transformation. If you haven't seen the 21-day transformation, I went from 203 down to I dropped 21 pounds in 21 days. I got really into great shape, but it's very hard to maintain those short-term, alternate day fasting programs and things like that. So let's get into the numbers here so you can have a look. If you look right off the bat, we have, when we started the program, we were at 21.6% body fat, 205.7 pounds, fat tissue 44.4, lean body mass 153.5, bone mineral content is 7.9. Why are these issues, why are we measuring these ones? Well, number one, lean body mass is a determinant for your healthy biospan, how long you're going to live, or how the quality of life is directly correlated to how much lean body mass you can take. And then fat mass, your tendency towards being overweight or obese is also a cofactor in everything from, diabetes, heart disease, cancer, even, contracting the virus, that's a component to it in the comorbidities. So there's a lot of data why you want to get this down. Now, my first 2 weeks, and usually when you start off these programs, particularly in an aggressive weight loss, weight training program, and I'm doing this on a plant-based side, Matt's going to do his on the ketogenic side. I bumped up training to 6 days a week, so I increased the volume of training and I cut my calories 4 meals a day. And what's the result of that? Well, the result is my first 2 weeks, we lost 4.4 pounds of body fat. In my second 2 weeks, we lost another, if you look at it, 4.5. So the net gain or the net loss has been 9.9 pounds of body fat. So just a hair under 10 pounds of fat in 4 weeks. Fat tissue, that is absolute blubber, gone. Here's some interesting component. Now, lean body mass tissue is when we started out 153.5. We had a peel back. We lost 1.8 pounds in the first 2 weeks, and then it bumped back up, which is interesting. So there's a compensatory fact. So originally my body was depleting. This is mostly probably glycogen stores, which is registering in lean body mass. Could be other things, but that's a big thing. That diminished, and then my body has made an adjustment. And physically, from a qualitative standpoint, I actually felt that shift about middle of the fourth week. There was a physiological change in my body. Now, bone mineral content, 7.9, 7.8, 7.8. So relatively the same. You can get a little bit of variance on a given day. Nothing to worry about. Bone mineral is another factor for healthy aging. You want healthy, dense bones for best results. So that's to say, I can say unequivocally, and you can kind of go this, by the way, with the body spec sands, and I go over here in Los Angeles, you can kind of give you these kind of basics. Goes into your body fat levels. It goes into the regional things. You can see trends over time. So I did some baseline stuff last year so that we could kind of you see my peak, I was down at 17.5 when I did that experiment last year, got right down nice and lean. And then we skewed back up as I went to my old levels. So you can kind of see that. And now we're back trending downwards again, as you can see the trend up and the trend downwards. I did those baselines last year so that we could have something to compare it to this year. Okay, so there was some method to the madness, and the early results is indicating this. That is that slow and steady wins the race. You want to balance the amount of pain or discomfort that you can tolerate. Guess what? I'm eating the same thing every day, very little variance. I'm training at probably the highest rate of volume I've trained at in years during this process. And I'm under strict monitoring by an outside source so that I don't deviate from the program. And then I'm measuring both the qualitative and quantitative data. So this is what biological optimization looks like. I will also be reporting a little bit later about some of the biohacking things that I'm using. Another thing that I've just added recently was a thing called a NanoV, which helps flip my nervous system out of fight or flight. I'm also using cognitive enhancers from the company Nutopia. I've got a PMF mat that I've added to the machine. I've got a brain tap technology that's also, and today I'm bringing in a 10-in-1 biohacking device, which I'm very, very excited about. We'll be doing an unboxing of that at some point here, which I think is going to be really cool. And you're going to see what I think the state of the art of how do you create your own biohome and bringing the tech into your house that I can stack 3, 4, 5 different things simultaneously to compress the time, advance my training, advance my recovery, and still meet the components of my day-to-day life. So week 4, great news. Muscle mass is exactly the same essentially as what it was 4 weeks ago. Body fat's down 9.9. I've made some physiological adjustments. I've got into the groove of the program. And when you do it for your side, and I'm doing this not just for me, I'm doing this to give you an example of what you can do in your life, the things that you need to have, the things that you would like to implement in order to get the results that you want and sustain those results over a long period of time. If you like this information, please put a like, put a share up. If you have questions or things that you would like to address in your biohacking mission, your goals to be the best version of yourself. For me, I want to be in the best shape that I can be in 50 weeks. And when I say that, not just physical conditioning, by body fat percentage, lean body mass, and kind of the cosmetic side, but also the internal side. We are measuring all of those as well, which I will do a deeper dive a little bit later. That's like hormones, heavy metals, mutations within genetics, all the variances that are influence us today in the modern world, and all the data that you can use to collect in order to make the best choices in your biohacking journey. So thank you for joining on this. Please feel free to get out some questions to my team support at BiOptimizers. And I'll start answering some of the questions related to this that you have burning on your mind that you'd like to address. Or maybe you have some suggestions, some things that you'd like me to try to see what I think, how it works, and how it might be measured and monitored in order to kind of be a transparent of what we're doing behind the scenes at BiOptimizers. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll see you on the next live recording. Take care.